Okay, going live here in the Facebook group. Let's see. Let's make sure that we are live on StreamYard, and then we're going to go live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook group. We're also going to go live on IG. Let's go live here on IG. Check the connection. Let's go live here on TikTok in 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's see who we've got here. Let me adjust the IG phone and the TikTok phone. All right, perfect. Okay, so we are live. It is Thursday, August 18th. Finally back in our Scottsdale, Arizona offices. I've been traveling the last couple of weeks in Poland, a little trip to Warsaw, Poland, a little vacation. So just got back now. I didn't hardly do any lives while I was gone. I think I did 1 or 2 lives in our Facebook group, but I didn't do any lives on IG, didn't do any lives on the TikTok phone over here. So we are back in action. So today I'm going to go over about a 20 to 25 minute training on how do you disrupt? Like if you're talking to a prospect and they're already with a company, they're already with a vendor. Let's say if you sell B2B or B2C, it doesn't matter. They already have a company or a vendor they're already using. And let's say they like who they're already using. How do you still penetrate that account? How do you still make that sale? If they're already with another company and they like the other company, how do you get them to unlike the other company enough to be open to going through what you have to offer them that could be better? How do you do that? So what questions do you need to ask? I'm going to give you 5 top questions that will help you disrupt vendor or company relationships. So make sure you write these down, okay? Now, we are going live on 7 different platforms. We're going to go live here on the IG phone. Got about 150 of you watching here. Got about 130,000 of you guys following us around here on IG. Started that account about 9 months ago. It's going crazy. TikTok, we're going to go live over here with you on the TikTok phone. And we're also going live on my desktop in our Facebook group, Sales Revolution. I've got about 28,000 followers in there running around. Facebook business page, about 67,000 of you followers over there. YouTube, we just got verified on YouTube. Hallelujah, that took forever. LinkedIn and my personal Facebook. So we're going live on 7 different platforms. Now, if you're brand new to our Facebook group or brand new to IG or brand new to TikTok or YouTube or LinkedIn, you're like, who the hell is this guy going live? My name is Jeremy Miner. I'm the founder and chairman of 7th Level. We are a sales training organization that trains salespeople and companies exactly like you. Okay. So we train sales professionals like you. We train sales executives like you. We train sales management like you. We train sales leaders. We train entrepreneurs, coaches, business owners, and we help you and your teams transform the way you sell by learning specific skilled questions and techniques that actually work with human behavior. Do you know what I mean when I say techniques that work with human behavior, that get your prospects to pull you in, rather than using techniques that trigger sales resistance where your prospects emotionally shut down? So how do you do that? Those are called neuro-emotional persuasion questions. That stands for NEPQ when you hear me that. Now we have to teach you the right delivery of the questions, the right tonality, okay, to get the prospect to want to engage, to want to open up to you because you might have something important for them, all right? Now, if you want to learn the same skills, because on these Facebook Lives, folks, I just give you little hors d'oeuvres. We give you little nibbles. We hardly give you anything. Do you want to be like our clients who are in the same industry that you're in, who are making 2, 3, 4 times what you are making now? If you want those same skills, message me directly right now. If you're in the Facebook group, message me directly right now. If you're in LinkedIn, message me directly right now. If you're on IG or TikTok, message me directly right now. Either myself or someone on our team will message you more training options if you want to get those type of results that thousands of our clients are now getting. Folks, Inc. Magazine ranked us for the 2nd year in a row the #1 fastest growing sales training company in the United States of America. That's not us saying it. That's Inc. Magazine saying it in the Inc. 5000 fastest growing company rankings. Okay, I think we're number 386 overall fastest growing company in the United States last year, #1 ranked sales training company in our category. There is a reason for that. That's only based off the results our clients are actually getting who are in the same industry you're in. All right, now, if you're on the live right now, take your phone out. I know you got your phone. If you're on the live right now, I want you to go post hashtag live. So if you're on IG, go post hashtag live. Okay. If you're in the Facebook group, post hashtag live. If you're on TikTok, post hashtag live. All right. If you're on the replay, I better see hundreds of hashtag lives. All right. If you're on the replay, I want you to post hashtag replay. So because you're a beast, if you want, okay, yeah. So post, if you're on the live, post hashtag live. I better see, thank you, Mary. I better see hundreds of hashtag lives. And if you're on the replay, I want you to post hashtag replay. Now, I also want you to smash the heart button and I want you to smash the like button. So go smash the heart button, smash the like button. Folks, we have 150 or 142 of you just watching this live here on IG. About 95 of you now on TikTok. We've got about 45 of you in the Facebook group. Go smash the heart button, smash the like button. I better see hundreds of smashed likes, hundreds of smashed hearts, because why on earth would I train you these top 5 questions on how to disrupt vendor relationships so you can sell to people who are already happy with who they have? Why would I just train you that if you don't smash the heart button or smash the like button? I don't have to. I can go out and play golf today. I mean, it's only 106 degrees here in Scottsdale. I could sweat to death, I guess. All right. Nobody cares about me. You guys just selfishly care about yourself. Let's dive in real quick. I even took notes for you guys so I wouldn't go off on tangents. All right. So how do you disrupt a relationship with a company or even a prospect? So if you're selling B2B, how do you disrupt a relationship with a company you're trying to penetrate? Or if you sell B2C, how do you penetrate a person, an individual who likes the company they already are working with? I know you guys run into prospects every day that could use your services or products, but they're so happy with who they already have, even if they don't know any better, that they could get something better from you, and they emotionally shut down by the way you approach them. So let's stop that from happening. How do you break the trust they have with that company that would cause them to be open to your solution and working with you? So I'm going to give you about 5 to 6 NEPQ questions that are designed to specifically do this. Now, these would primarily be used in your problem awareness questions phase and or your solution awareness stages of the engagement process. Now, if you're one of our clients, you know all of those questions in the stages. If you're not, well, maybe you want to be a client if you want to make a lot more money than you are now. Okay, so I'm going to give you some of these questions. Now, some of them you're only going to be able to use in a B2B setting, and some of them you would only use if you sold B2C. When I go through the differences, I'm going to show you if you're going to use that in a B2B situation compared to if you sell B2C. I'm going to give you a little bit of a differences because there are a little bit differences in there. All right, here's the first one. Write this down. This would primarily be B2B right here that I'm going to give you. Mary, can I ask how your idea situation compares to what you have now with company A, with who you're already using? Can I ask how your idea situation compares to what you have now with this company that you're already using? Okay. Now, this question, although it's very basic, it's a surface level question that we then have to probe based off their answers, but it starts to open up the door on what they would actually change and then allows you to clarify and probe more about their challenge or something they don't like. Okay. Now here's another one. These are going to get much better as I go here. I actually have about 8 that I wrote down. I told you 5, but I always give you more than when I tell you. I'm just a nice guy over here. So help me understand. You've already reached these big numbers. So let's say that you're talking with a company. Okay. This is mainly a B2B company. That if you're in B2B sales right now, that I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you some B2C examples. Let's say you're talking to a company that's already very successful. Folks, our first B2B client that we had, that we got 4 years ago when we launched 7th Level, was Google AdWords. Okay, we trained 3 of their divisions. Was Google already successful? Did they already reach big numbers and milestones? Hell yes. So this is a question we had to develop to get them to think about what they would change since they were already doing so well. So help me understand, you've already reached these big numbers and milestones. Where do you want to go from here in terms of future improvements in? And then you repeat back the end result of what you offer. And I'm going to show you how to do this. All right. So let me go through this again. So John, help me understand. I mean, you guys have already reached these big numbers and crazy milestones. Tell me, where do you want to go from here in terms of future improvements in? And then you're going to repeat back the end result of what you offer. Now, did you see my hands? Okay. I'm going to show you, like, if they can see you, this is really important that you show this type of body language. So you've already reached these big numbers and milestones. I guess, where do you want to go from here in terms of future improvements in, and then you repeat back the end result of what you offer. Okay. See, I start here. You've already reached these big numbers and milestones. Tell me, where do you want to go from here in terms of future improvements in? See, and I'm growing that. I'm causing them visually to see, oh, wow, we've done really well, but where do we really want to be? Okay. Now, here's how you want to do this. If the prospect tells you, you only ask that question if they tell you they're completely happy with who they already have, okay? And like I said, this would primarily be a question that you primarily use in a B2B situation. Now, I'll give you an example of, let's say, how we would use this question as a sales training company. And let's say we're talking to an enterprise Fortune 500 company like Google AdWords, one of our first clients as a B2B client. This is the same question I asked their boardroom, okay, when I presented in front of them. So John, and I mentioned the board, you guys have already reached these really big numbers and milestones with your salespeople. Where do you want to go from here in terms of future improvements in their sales ability so that your company starts increasing sales rather than just stagnating like a lot of your competitors are? See how that works? And they're like, well, we're already doing good, but we really want our salespeople to learn this, and we want them to learn that. And then I asked, well, hold on, why is XYZ important to you now, though? Like, why not push it down the road like a lot of companies would? Well, why is that so important to you now? Like, why not push that down the road like unsuccessful businesses would or unsuccessful companies works? Okay, see how that works? All right. So here's another way to do this. So back when you chose to work with company X, what was your selection criteria, if I could ask? So this is a two-part question. If you sold B2B, I'm going to show you some B2C examples in a second. All right, so stay patient with me. So back when you chose to work with company X, can I ask what your selection criteria was, just so I have a better understanding? Well, yeah, we were looking for this and we were looking for that. Let them answer, and then you're going to ask this question. So in what ways has that possibly changed as you look at what you might need today, though? In what ways has that criteria possibly changed as you look what you might need today, though? And then they're going to say, well, if we could change, we would change this, or we like this, but, and they're going to tell you something, and then you can probe off that. Okay, hold on, but why is that so important to you now? All right, now let's keep going here. I've got about 4 more questions here. I'm going to give you some B2C and a couple more B2B. So this question allows them and you to see and understand why their current situation, their current state, is different than when it was when they started working with the other vendor. Things have changed. It also opens the door for you to clarify and probe and help them find maybe new problems or challenges they didn't think they had. Also, when they tell you something they would change, like I just went over, you're simply going to ask an NEPQ probing question that pulls out more emotion on why they want to change. Plus, it helps build massive urgency for them to change now, not down the road. So if they're like, well, I mean, the criteria is still the same, but one thing that we would probably change is this. Okay, can I ask why you'd want to change that now, though? That's an NEPQ probing question. Okay, now let me give you a few more questions you can use for both B2B and B2C. Now, if you could change one thing about who you're using now, if anything, what would it actually be? Okay, can I ask in what ways could your current company possibly do better for you than what they're doing for you now? Can I ask in what ways the vendor you're with could do better for you than what they're doing now? That's both a B2B or B2C example. Now, if it's B2C, you're going to say company. If it's B2B, more than likely, you're going to say vendor. You can still say company as well, but you can use those terms interchangeably. Can I ask in what ways your company that you're with could possibly do better for you than they are now? Okay, it's a simple, neutral question. Now, I'm going to give you this really important question. I'm actually going to give you about 9 or 10 questions. I'm feeling really nice. The question I'm about to give you helps you ease in to letting your prospect know that they're making the wrong decision without them getting offended with you and without them feeling you are just trying to sell them. So let's say you go through your entire sales process, whether you sell B2B or you sell B2C, and at the end of that, they just say, well, I think we're just going to stay with who we already have. Well, what do you do then? Okay, here's the question you want to ask. It works every freaking time. Make sure you write this down. Of any questions I just gave you today, this is probably the most important. Okay, now, so if they said we're just going to stick with who we already have at the end of your presentation or your sales process, you're going to ask this question. Sally, how would I be able to communicate with you that you might be making the wrong decision without you getting upset with us? Sally, how would I be able to communicate with you that you might be making the wrong decision without you getting upset with me? Now, what do you think they're going to say? Nope, you cannot communicate with me without me getting upset at you. They're going to say, no, yeah, sure, you're not offending me. Like, what do you have in mind? That's exactly what they're going to say every time. If you say it with the right tonality. Thanks, Dave Prosser. I know you. John, how would I be able to communicate with you that you might be making the wrong decision without you getting upset with me? Oh, don't worry, I'm not going to get upset with you. What do you have in mind? Exactly. It will automatically trigger them to say, oh, I'm not going to get upset with you. What do you have in mind? This really helps them view you as more of an expert in your field. Okay? Let me repeat that again. Barry, how would I be able to communicate with you that you might be making the wrong decision without you getting upset with me? Notice the empathy in my voice. Notice my tone. I don't want to say, John, how would I be able to communicate with you that you might be making the wrong decision without you getting upset with me? It's not going to land as well. But if I slow down, Amy, how would I be able to communicate with you that you might be making the wrong decision without you getting upset with me? Notice my body language. Without you getting upset with me. Oh, don't worry, Jeremy. I wouldn't get upset with you. What do you have in mind? Instantly disarms the prospect. See how that works? All right, let's keep going here. All right. Now, I'm going to give you a couple more, and I'm going to give you about 3 or 4 different industry-specific examples on how to use some of these questions I just went over so you can see how this works. Now, you can also use something that's called the 2 truths question. This is one we teach a lot to our clients in our virtual training courses and our group trainings as well that we do every week for our clients. Here on these lives, I just gave you little nibbles. I give you like 1% of the 1% of the 1% that we train our clients. We don't know how to give you anything here. If you want big results, you have to be in the training like our clients are who are in the same industry that make 3 to 4, 5 times more than you are now. They only make that because they have the right skills. They've learned and acquired the right skills. That's available for you as well if you want the right skills. You don't have to have the right skills. You can keep losing sales that our clients make who sell exactly what you are now. It has no impact on us if you lose those sales. Who does it impact? Well, it possibly impacts you, right? Okay, 2 truths question. No one likes 100% of what they have or they're doing. There's always something they would change if they could. Think about the car you just bought 2 years ago. Let's say you bought a freaking $350,000 Lamborghini. I guarantee you 2 years later, there's going to be something you don't like about that car. Even though you fell in love with it the very first day, 100%, there'll always be something you don't like or want to change. So this 2 truths question can be both used in B2C and B2B sales. So here's a generic version. So Sally, I mean, to me, it sounds like things are going fairly well with who you're already using now. I mean, is there anything you would change about who you're using or the results you're getting if you could? Notice my tonality. So John, to me, I mean, it sounds like things are going fairly well with who you're already with. I mean, is there anything you would change about what you're using with them or the results you're getting if you could? That question is almost like, well, why the hell am I even on this call with you? Everything sounds perfect. And they're going to say, well, we like them, but, and then there's always something they're going to want to change. Now, let me give you a few different industry examples. I'm going to give you a couple B2C examples, industries. I'm going to give you 1 or 2 B2B examples so you can see how this 2 truths question framework would actually work. Okay, here we go. Such a golden line. You're welcome, Jeff, on YouTube. All right. So let's say if you sold life insurance, okay, we train a lot of companies. In fact, I'm speaking in a big keynote tomorrow for a company that has about 12,000 agents. I'm speaking in front of, I think, about 5,400 of their agents at their national convention tomorrow in Denver, okay? Insurance reps that are doing fairly well, but they want to do a lot better, all right? So here we go. So Amy, I mean, to me, it sounds like things are going fairly well with the company you're already with. I mean, is there anything you would change about the coverage, the financial protection that you have with them for your family if you could? So John, to me, it sounds like things are fairly going well with the policy you already have. Is there anything you would change about your financial protection you have for the kids if you could? It's like, why the hell am I even on this call? Everything sounds perfect, okay? Now, I only need to ask the 2 truths question if they tell me they love everything about who they're already with. If they don't tell me they love everything about who they're with, I would never need to ask the two truths question because it wouldn't be relevant in that conversation. Okay. Now, let me give you another example. Well, and they might say, well, we like it, but we would maybe look at, okay, but having that, why so important to you now though? Why not just push it down the road like a lot of people would? Well, the reason why we need to look at it now is because of X and Y and Z. Okay, here's a B2B example. Let's say if you sold business consulting to business owners that helps them get better systems and processes to scale their companies. Train a lot of people in that industry. So let's say you're a business consultant. Your job is to cold call and prospect and get in with companies, SMB companies, and teach them the right systems and processes your company does to help them scale their business. Here's what I might say. Okay, so, Amy, to me, it sounds like things are going fairly well with the systems you're already using now. Is there anything you would change about the systems you're using or the results you're getting from those if you could? See my tone? Well, don't get me wrong. We like them, but if we could, okay, but getting those type of results, why so important to you now though? Like, why not push it down the road like a lot of unsuccessful business owners would? Well, the reason why we can't push it down the road is because of X and Y and Z. And now they just told themselves why they can't push it down the road. Here's another example. Let's say if you sold medical device equipment and you're talking to doctors or admins at the hospital or the CEO of the hospital. A lot of times you're selling to the CEOs, not just necessarily doctors and medical device. Let's say if you sell knee implants, as an example. Train a lot of companies and salespeople in medical device too. So, Sal, help me understand. To me, it sounds like things are going fairly well with the implants you've already been using the past decade. Is there anything you would change about the implant or the results your patients are getting from it if you could? So help me understand. To me, it sounds like things are going perfect with the knee implants you've already been using. Is there anything you would change about the implant or the results your patients are getting from it if you could? Well, don't get me wrong, they're really good, but if we could speed up the operative time, hold on. Speeding up the operating time. Why so important to you now, though? See, that's an NEPQ probing question. Jeff, dude, your advice rules. Love it. Well, these are just little hors d'oeuvres. If you really want to make a lot of money, you probably want to get in our virtual training platforms and group trainings where we train everything, because we don't hardly train anything on lives. These are little nibbles we give you. All right. Hope that helped you guys. Guys, I got to get out of here. I got to catch my flight to Denver. I got this big keynote in front of 5,000 souls tomorrow morning. Thanks for everybody being on here. Now, look, if you want to start making your first 10 grand a month consistently with what you sell right now, if you want to start making 15 grand a month every month, 20 grand a month every month in your industry that you're now, let's say you're already at 20 grand a month. Well, how are you going to learn how to start making 30 grand a month in commissions? Or do you want to start making 40 or 50,000 plus a month in commissions in your industry now? Because I can assure you, we have clients that we train who sell exactly what you are now that are making those numbers every single month. All they have are the right skills. Their hair's not cooler than yours. In fact, they eat breakfast when they wake up in the morning. I'm sure they brush their teeth. They even put on pants and tie their shoes. The only difference between you and them is what? They have the right skills that work with human behavior. You can acquire those skills as well to start making that income if you want. Otherwise, what's going to happen? Well, you just stay at the same income you're at now because you say and ask the same questions that have gotten you that result. If you want a higher result, what do you first have to do? You have to learn more advanced skills. So if you want to learn those type of skills, because I got to get out of here. Blake's about to go catch a flight. He's got a videographer. He's got to pack up all of our video equipment. You want to learn those skills, message me directly now. If you're in the Facebook group, Sales Revolution, message me directly right now. If you're on IG, message me directly right now. If you're on TikTok, message me directly right now. If you're on YouTube, you can't message me, but you can post hashtag NEPQ. Post hashtag NEPQ. If you're on LinkedIn, message me right now. Okay. Now, if you haven't joined the Facebook group, if you're on IG or TikTok, I'm going to have Val and some of our team drop the Facebook group link in here. Thanks, Felicia, for doing that. Felicia's on our team. They'll drop it here on TikTok as well. They'll drop it here on LinkedIn. they'll drop it here in the Facebook business page, my personal Facebook profile as well. Just go to salesrevolution.pro, salesrevolution.pro. You can join the Facebook group for free. We go live in the Facebook group about 3 to 4 times a week. I only go live on IG and TikTok maybe once a week at the most, okay? So if you want to learn those type of skills, that's the best place to start to get little hors d'oeuvres and then get into our virtual training and group training programs. We have over 25 different training programs. So just message me directly, either myself or somebody will tell you, hey, I work with Jeremy Miner on 7 Levels team. You can even book a call with one of our team members and they'll go over different options that we have for training. Because once we understand what commission level you're at now, compared to what you want to make and what you think you're saying and asking that's causing you not to be able to get to those levels, once we understand those differences and what industry you're in, then the team member will recommend the right training program that's going to get you the quickest ROI for what you actually sell to get you to those commission levels. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'll be back live here next Tuesday in the Facebook group with a new training. My schedule goes back to normal next week. Peace out. We got to get out of here to catch our flight. Love you guys all. Have a good weekend. Message me directly or post hashtag NEPQ if you can't figure out how to message me directly. And either myself or someone on our team will message you more details. Peace. I got to get out of here. Thanks, TikTok folks. Love you guys. You guys are getting nicer over there. It used to be the Wild and Wild West. Everybody on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook group. Love you guys. See you guys next week. I'm ending the broadcast.